Welcome to Bite-Sized EdTech in SAUSD, the 5-minute podcast for teachers and staff in the Santa Ana Unified School District. Enjoy!
Welcome to our deep dive, everyone. Today, we're going to be looking at Sora and Bookakutcha.
Yeah, two tools that are really, kind of changing things up in the world of literacy.
Exactly. And I think for me, I'm really curious about Sora in particular. This idea of a digital library right in your pocket.
Right.
How is that different than just using like a regular ebook reader?
Yeah, so it's really about a lot more than just having access to ebooks,
Okay.
Sora is specifically designed for schools with a collection that's been put together for different grades. So you
Oh.
could have like an elementary school student who has access to books that are right for their age and, match what they're learning in class.
Right.
And at the same time, you could have a high school student using the same platform to read more challenging stuff.
Oh, so it's not just like, throwing a ton of books at students, but it's more like
Yeah.
a tailored experience, right?
Yeah, very much so.
That's really interesting. And, one of the sources we looked at describes it as a gateway to a world of reading right at your fingertips.
I like that. Yeah, and that accessibility is really key.
Mhm.
Sora is making sure that every student has the chance to read tons of different stuff, no matter what their background is or how they learn best.
That's fantastic.
And it's not just about text either.
Mm-hmm.
So Sora also has audiobooks, magazines, so it's a multisensory experience.
Right. So it's really catering to different learning styles then.
Exactly.
Okay. Could you talk a little bit more about that? Like, how does Sora actually do that?
Sure. So think about students who have a tough time with like traditional printed books.
Okay.
So Sora lets them change the font size.
Huh.
They can switch to fonts that are easier for people with dyslexia to read, or they can even listen to an audiobook.
Oh, wow.
So it's all about making reading accessible and fun for everybody.
I can see how that could be really helpful for those students who, might feel discouraged or left behind otherwise.
Exactly.
Now we've got this amazing digital library, but how do we actually get students to really engage with what they're reading?
Right.
That's where Bookakutcha comes in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So tell me more about that.
So Bookakutcha, it's all about turning those passive readers into active presenters.
I love that.
So imagine this, a student picks a book on Sora that they're really interested in,
Okay.
and then they make a presentation about it with just one slide that captures, the main idea of the book.
Okay.
It could be a key theme, like you said, or an analysis of a character, or even just a personal connection they made with the story.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the catch. They only have 30 seconds to present.
Wow, 30 seconds. That's a challenge.
It is.
There must be a good reason for that time limit. Why is it so short?
It's actually pretty brilliant because it forces students to really think about what's important.
Okay.
They have to prioritize information and present their ideas in a way that's clear and impactful.
And in today's world where we're just bombarded with information all the time, being able to communicate concisely and effectively is such a valuable skill.
Couldn't agree more.
It's not just about, repeating facts, but about understanding the information and presenting it in a way that really engages the audience.
Yes, and by using visuals, Bookakutcha really taps into that human need to
Yeah.
tell stories.
Absolutely. And because each presentation is so short, it creates this fast-paced, energetic environment where everyone is really paying attention.
Exactly.
I bet the energy during Bookakutcha session is amazing.
It is.
But, not everyone is comfortable speaking in front of a group.
True.
What about those students who get nervous about presentations?
That's one of the great things about Bookakutcha. It provides a low-stakes environment for students to practice those communication skills.
I see.
Everyone gets a chance to share their ideas.
Yeah.
They've got the visuals to help them, a clear time limit, and because everyone has read the same book, they're already starting on the same page.
Yeah, that makes sense. And actually, one of the things I read about Bookakutcha was that it's a low-stress opportunity for students to practice public speaking because everyone has something to talk about.
Yeah.
I really like that it creates this sense of community.
It does.
But with only 30 seconds,
Mhm.
how do we make sure that the presentations are more than just like surface-level summaries?
Right.
How do we help students to really think critically and analyze the book in depth?
That's where the prompts come in.
Okay.
Teachers can design prompts that match specific learning objectives and content standards.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of just saying present on the book,
Mm.
a prompt might be choose 3 adjectives to describe the main character and give examples from the book to support your choices.
I like that.
This encourages students to really think about the character's motivations and behavior and, how they change throughout the story.
Right. So it's about providing that structure and guidance, but still leaving room for individual interpretation and creativity.
Exactly.
I can see how this would really elevate those critical thinking skills.
And don't forget the power of visuals.
Right.
A single image carefully chosen can say so much. By limiting text and emphasizing visual elements, Bookakutcha encourages students to think outside the box and find creative ways to communicate their ideas in a powerful way.
Okay, so what we've seen so far is that Sora provides the content, a huge digital library available to students whenever they need it, and Bookakutcha provides a dynamic way to engage with and present what they've read.